Stan with 3D PT. For this project, I'm actually looking at a method that actually would be used for printing in cement, where you put your electrical conduit into the print while it goes up. So I'll show some video later on how I actually did this. So this is similar to a method that I did before, where I embedded magnets into a print. So I'll link up to the magnet video there. This is just 5/8 inch refrigerator tube. You could buy it in a 100-foot coil or 10-foot coil at any hardware store. These are rice lights that got at work at the dollar store. And the goal of this is just to show how the tubing goes all the way through. And I just took a single strand, used a piece of scrap piece of Ninja Flex to actually thread this through. But if you look through the top, you can see how the lights are embedded inside the tube, but the tube itself is embedded in the print, and it even goes all the way around this curve here. This could be used for a couple things. You could use it for like a light diffuser or like a night light. I made the walls really thick though, so I think it's like, if I remember right, it's like 3 layers thick. So if you want to do this as an actual light project, definitely make the walls thinner. And this infill pattern is a S-fill that actually is one of the fun default shapes in the TinkerCAD shape generator menu. So this thing was just a quick TinkerCAD knockup, but it shows how you could embed different objects into prints. And if I wanted to change the color out, I do have a blue light that I could thread in as well. So I'll show how I did this next. So I'm starting on this project to make a transparent wall sample. And this is going to show a concept with 3D printing buildings that I don't think anyone's really touched upon. Because I think there's still some room to improve on 3D printing techniques. So I've cut a couple pieces of this 5/8 inch refrigerator tubing. And over here I've got this light, these T lights, that I'll embed inside the tube once it's there. So the print is in color fab, clear. And it's going to take about an hour to get to the first level, at which point I'll drop in this tube and have it print over this, just like I did for these refrigerator magnets. So these actually have magnets embedded inside of them. And I'm going to do the same thing with this, and this will leave a conduit for lights to go through. And this way, instead of having to bolt electrical conduit to the outside of a printed wall, you could actually embed it inside, and it just looks a lot cleaner, but also just makes it a lot more durable. So I'm doing a model where lights are going to go through these refrigerator tubing pipes, and these are actually embedded into the print, and you can see how that's working right now. So when I made a model and I had channels to drop the pipe into, and when they're about 3/4 high, I could actually clip these in, and I use the bamboo skewers to keep them steady and straight while the print is going up. So it's actually going to print close over the top of it, just like it did for the magnets on these clean dirty tags. And so I just did it twice, once down here and once up here. And what will happen is I've got the rice lights here that I've used in a few other videos. And I'm just going to run this through those pipes and use this to model how you could actually drop wiring conduits directly into a 3D printed wall. You could also just, if you do it with a clear material like this, obviously it'll shine through. But the goal is to have like 2 layers of lights shine through to kind of illustrate that. And with this, there's no outside wiring that's bolted to the inside. And so it's just a lot cleaner process. And the top just has a nice S-shaped infill. So this will be I'm calling it a wired model. And this will be used for proof of concept for a bunch of things. Right now it's getting ready to print the second channel. So again, I'm going to use 2 skewers to keep it secured. If I can get it to focus. So you can see here how it's still got the infill and the pipe so I can put the rice lights into them. Now I did find another product to do this with, but I'm just going to hold off on that. So this is getting ready to print the first set of channels. And what I'm doing here with the tubing is it was kind of bent, or it was holding the shape from the coil it was in. So I put a bamboo skewer in and I'm putting it on the warm bed just to keep it warm. So I'm going to let this go for probably about another 20 minutes and then it'll be just about halfway done with that first channel, if I can get into focus here. Yeah. And when it's about halfway, I'll pause it, put in the first one of these tubes, and let it print over it. But from the top, you can see how it's like all the other printed homes where it has just a you could do just straight triangular infill to support the wall. Of course, have some fun with this. This is an S-curve that's in TinkerCAD, so I'm just doing that. Okay, so I had to stop and try again. This time I let it go up to about 3/4 of the way so it would actually snap over. And I'm going to resume the print like this. So right now the print is actually bridging over the top of the pipe. And so this is what will happen also in a cement print, is you can lay down conduit and then just hit resume or resume print, and it'll just continue to print over this. And this is important because you could embed wiring or other conduit into your print without having to bolt it or worry about it later. And the advantage also is it gives you something easier for electricians to wire and work with. So I paused it and I'm gonna leave the sticks in. I cut them in. So I cut the sticks in half and I'm gonna use those to support it while it's going in. And excuse me. And you can see how the infill has overlaid the tubing and still kept in the stick inside just because I'm too shy right now to pull it out. But you can see how this is starting to lay out, so when I run lights through it, should be able to light up everything on the inside and show all the different patterns. So I'll show how light can go through and you can embed things in an object. print over it. And it's at about 7 hours right now. It'll be about another hour worth of printing time. So on that you can see how the tube is clipped in. And my battery died on my lamp, so I'll have to get charged one up. And I could do this because the tube's in deep enough that I could print. So I pulled the skewers out. My light died, so I need to get that off. So I'll run the lights through and go from there.